the shape of my body was in the metal framework.
Wow.
You see, shape and the steering wheel, look here, man, the steering wheel, just around the column. That's what my chest, look here, man, when I tore apart, my body tore apart, my shoulders actually touched. That's what flesh in a split second.
You were doing 80?
I was doing over 85.
Wow.
But it was
I think that's some power behind
oh
it.
yeah, it was going, but I didn't come out of third. I hit that van, and but the flesh bent that steel, wrapped it around the column, and it was all shoved into the metal. You could see where my knees were in the metal, and I still have a scar here on my knee from the radio knob stuck in there.
Wow.
Anyways, man, I was like, some of my friends they were like, he's dead. But I was walking around in this darkness, man, like, where am I, man? What is this place? And I started getting scared. And then all of a sudden, man, the presence of the great God Almighty come upon me. And he don't need an introduction, man. And it was like, oh, man, when he came upon me, it wasn't like me speaking and telling you this story, man, all these words. It was like, boom, everything. I knew everything, man. And I knew that I was separated from him. I didn't have his son. I didn't have Jesus. I knew, you know, and it was like, and there was no time. I could tell there was no time. Not like here, you know, you have daylight, sunlight.
Yeah.
Time did not exist, man. And you know you live forever. It doesn't exist, man. And the greatest fear fell upon me, not because the Lord is like, you know, drop a hammer on me or a billy stick and beat the mess out of me, because I didn't have him in his power. Just like in Genesis chapter 15, if you read, when Abraham fell asleep and was in the presence of the Lord, he was in darkness, and fear fell upon him, not because of God was going to hurt him, but because of he's a creator, his power. You know what I'm saying? He's, I could do, man. I cried out with everything in me. I was like, I don't want to die, but I screamed so loud, man, you could hear me all the way to Charlotte. You know, I screamed with everything I had in me because I knew I was gone. The split second, Eddie, that I did that, man. Blood, man, like a fire hydrant, like poured out of my lungs.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had nothing in me to do that. I was gone for like 15, 20 minutes. Gone.
I can't believe that though. Like your brain is, pretty much your brain dead when after like a certain amount of minutes. Yeah.
But not with the Lord. I was dead, but he put that back into me. Because think about this. You know how you get a little bit of spit in your lungs? How you're like,
yeah.
Well, imagine your lungs being like full of blood.
I can't.
Yeah, I had nothing in me to even push that out. But I remember, man, like the blood just coming out of my lungs and then going, oh, like that. And I saw this light. But I saw this light and I was so dumb. I thought, oh man, it must be a street light. but here's the deal. I couldn't even see for 2 days.
Wow.
So how did I see a street light? There wasn't no street light anyway. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the glory of the Lord. He put breath back into me because I remember going, oh, like that after that blood poured out. And I was like, and they were like, oh my gosh, he's alive, because I moved. I did like this, man. And so they got me out of there and they took me in. And it gets better, man. Listen to this, dude. Listen to this, man. I remember them putting me on the stretcher and I couldn't see a thing, man. I was like, oh, I was doing this. I couldn't see nothing, man. I couldn't see nothing. Everything was blackness. And then they took me in and they got me in the hospital and they x-rayed me and scanned me, and they were like, and they scanned me again because they thought things were messed up. They were like, you don't have a broken bone in your body. But I was, listen to this, man. I was like full of blood, just bloody. And they could see. They were like, man, your spine was twisted and torn. And they could see where my chest, I had to imprint that steering wheel on my chest for like 2 months, man.
The bruising and all?
Oh yeah, the imprint, you could see the steering wheel.
They do the same thing with the seat belts. When you hit the brakes like that, yes, I can imagine.
But they could see where my chest had been shattered but put back together. All the bones. Like, it was all back together. They weren't broke. But they could see. You know how it was like it was all fused together. He healed me, man. He healed me when I cried out to him, man. Because I had nothing. I had no power in me. I was at the gates of Hades, man. I was at the gates of hell, man. There I was. I didn't have Jesus. But he had pity on me. He loved me, and God had a plan for me. And he knew, man. He knew ahead of time. He's like, I'm gonna put breath back into Chris, and he's gonna know who I am.
Imagine.
Get this, man. 10 years later, I had MRIs done on my knees, and they come back out there. It's like, look at this. He's like, you were in a traumatic accident. I was like, well, yeah, I told you I was in a car wreck. He's like, nah, look. But you could see where my cartilage was all shattered, but it was put back together like a little puzzle. All the pieces were there and put together, but it was like a little puzzle. It had been shattered before, but the Lord He healed that. And he's real, man, and he is a healer. And man, I used to not believe. I was raised up that God wasn't real, except for my grandma's. And when I met him, I knew what my grandparents, what my grandmothers, both of them told me was actually the truth, man. See, I had grown bitter and thought that God was a fairy tale growing up because of church and people, and you can't put your faith in people because people always let you down. We should forgive people and love them regardless, and know that God's the one we put our faith in. Every day, put our faith in him, that he leads us. He lays our path for us. Everybody will let you down, but that doesn't mean that we should be angry or resent them. We should still love everyone and forgive them, because we need the same forgiveness. You know, I let people down, so I can't hold anything against anyone or let Satan fool me into thinking God did that or that's the Lord, because, you know, no, the Lord is good. He is good, man.
He is. He's been good to me these last couple weeks.
This is a divine meeting, man. I didn't know I was going to be meeting you, man.